Larian Studio holds the panel from hell. More Baldur's Gate 3 has been shown. Early access date released. And boy, was it all amazing. Wow. Baldur's Gate 3 new early access date, new gameplay and more. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the Stadia Dosage. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and y'all know the slogan. I am not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. I know it. Y'all watching a very gruesome video. This is an excerpt from new gameplay. Just some of the new gameplay that we've seen from Baldur's Gate today via the panel from hell, which hosted Geoff Keighley. Lord Jesus. Geoff Keighley, Sven, a fan favorite of Larian Studios, and other two individuals working on the Baldur's Gate 3 project. Okay, so via the Summer of Gaming hosted by Geoff Keighley, oh dear Jesus, we were introduced to new gameplay. Like I said, we talked about gameplay, the scope of the game, talked about what they were aiming for minimum specs, a slight smidgen hint of the price, and then the all-important thing, when is the release date for the early access? So let's get into all that. So you're seeing gameplay right now, and the gameplay that you're seeing is of something that I can't remember the complete name. Definitely go check out Eddie Player One. I'm gonna leave a link to that below. Our live reaction to all this, where you'll get all the fine details. The panel included your boy, Projekt Storm, and the homie Black Kai, and you can also check out Projekt Storm, Black Kai, and Eddie, along with Chase of the week of Stadia Unfiltered. You can catch them all tonight on Eddie Player One's channel. I'll leave a link to that below as well. But we're watching this thing where it's a mind controlling thing that takes over the human brain, and it's just a bunch of crazy stuff going on, man. So you definitely gotta check out the podcast tonight, our live reaction, to get all the details on that. But the gameplay looked fantastic, and it just shows you more why this is heavily anticipated, one of the biggest games of 2020, even in early access as far as I'm concerned. It's even such a big deal. Let me show you something that our friends over at Windows Central Gaming got an article up on it. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at their article. I wasn't supposed to show you that date, dang nabbit. but stay tuned. All right, stay tuned to the video. But it says Baldur's Gate 3 early access launch date revealed. So even they get into the fray about the game, because this is a big deal. It's releasing on Steam and Stadia simultaneously, not on Windows. But I guess because you can use Windows to play it out, they played 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon there, so they can do a story on it, because this is going to be a big game for all of those that are out here in the console war talking about Stadia sucks, it's trash, they ain't got no games, nobody cares about Baldur's Gate Mars, nobody cares. This is evidence to the contrary, that Larian Studios, a 90+ Metacritic studio, people love their games. They have critically acclaimed games, and the fact that it's Baldur's Gate, which is part of the Dungeons and Dragons universe, which has just got a huge following altogether. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Now, is it Halo big? Maybe not, but this is going to be a big deal for a small platform that's trying to get saturation before the next generation. This is a big deal. So this is not a nothing burger, to say the least, all right? But with that said, the early access is coming. Gameplay is fantastic. They showed you more of the charming gameplay. They showed you a little hint too of how intricate crowd play or crowd choice is going to be. Now, crowd choice is a Stadia related feature. It's exclusive to Stadia that allows you to automatically be watching somebody streaming this game, and then as someone streaming the game, you can automatically participate in the choices that are being made. So as you saw earlier, as the dice being rolled, that has a lot to do with how successful a choice is going to be and the choice that is going to be made. And that's all part of the crowd choice. Someone watching, let's just say Eddie Player One playing this game, I can decide what he chooses to do. As you can see, choices being made right here. We can vote on it, and winners or the majority rules rather, and we can decide the choices that are going to happen in Eddie's gameplay. So that's going to be intricate as well to it releasing on Stadia. And that's, again, exclusive to Stadia. Now, as far as why is this only coming to Stadia, Sven of Larian Studios explained it in multiple interviews. He said the far scope of this game is just too big for current consoles right now. Like, eventually it's going to come to the next generation consoles when they do the full retail launch, but even to experience the 20 plus hours that are going to be available now via early access, it's just not possible. It's just not possible. And Stadia being a frictionless platform, a platform solely in the cloud, it just added on top of the possibilities here, and Sven explained that. So that's why you got to come to Stadia. Don't listen to the naysayers, don't listen to the wrong yays, the meme cast boys, or now I might even say, it saddens me to say this, the parasilies that go out there and say, oh, Stadia's tech is trash, or try to hint towards that. Listen to the developers. I don't listen to pundits or idiot herd rhetoric throwers. You got to listen to the developers. The developers are telling you what's going on, and Larian Studios is one of the most trusted and most revered studios out there. So one of the things that was intricate to me in them talking about this game is that you can create these little creatures, right, that can assist you in the game. They're like little pets. So think of pets like an ESO, but these things have a lot more capabilities than your pets in ESO. So they made an example of to where they took, the guy had made a pet spider. And the game is so wide, the scope is so broad, the possibilities are so endless in this game that the spider went from one end of the map all the way to another end of the map, and they said the scope of this game is larger than Divinity 2. It's way larger. I think they two times the size. I could be wrong, but it's way larger than Divinity 2. Went from one end of the map to the other end of the map and was able to listen into NPC conversations as they traveled in through the map. Like, this is a big game, and this is why when you talk about a game of that scope, then it starts to make sense why they can't do this on current gen hardware. And why it might even be challenging at first until they get it fully polished and ready for retail, why it might be a challenge even doing it on next gen hardware until you get it to that point, right? But we get to touch this now, we get to experience this now, and that's one of the great things of Stadia, all right? Now, people may say, hey, MM2K, it's coming out on PC as well. Well, yeah, it's coming out on PC, and PC does add, as hardware, it adds some of the best capabilities as hardware is concerned. But I want to show you something. Now, this early access was supposed to release this month, and it didn't because, by all intents and purposes, hardware is holding it back. Because as we all know, COVID is not having the effect on Stadia development like it is everything else, because Stadia, again, is a sole cloud developing solution, and developers like Bungie, again, don't listen to the idiot herd. Developers like Bungie have come out and they've told you that. They've told you that things are progressing very well on Stadia because of that sole cloud dedicated solution nature of the platform. Now, they want to do simultaneous releases for the early access, so I imagine that because of COVID, because you got to have the dev kit in front of you for when you're going to develop it on Windows and Steam and stuff like that, that you got to, that's definitely pushing things back. And then there's some other things, like as far as the voice recording and just natural development things in that nature that it's going to, affect everybody. But the pure development side of it, it's not a big of an issue on Stadia as it is elsewhere. But here goes the minimum specs, right? Like, if you want to get into this thing, you need like an i5 4690 or GTX 780. And some people that know PC parts may say, well, that's not a lot, but you're going to get the soupiest textures. You're going to get the worst performance with that, right? The recommended is an i7, a 1060, 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's just recommended. That's not optimal. But when we're dealing with Stadia, y'all, we're getting all this. We're getting great performance. We might even get 4K in the early access. We might get it at launch. Whether it's upscale, still gonna look beautiful because we know the nature of the platform. That we're gonna get all this for a system that at most costs $100 for a Chromecast Ultra and a controller, or $10 a month if you want the 4K version, or just simply price it a game. And if this is a free pro game, which I'll get into that a little bit, if this is a free pro game, it'll just be $10 a month. All right. So with that said, the value proposition heavily outfavors in the favor of Stadia. If I just want to play this game, I ain't got to commit myself to a platform in order to play this. Stadia takes the platform out of your way, takes the platform out of your way as the middleman, and makes it all about you just accessing games. That's what people don't realize. They're taking the middleman out, and you can just access the games. It's not about, oh man, I got the blue screen of death. Oh man, I got to do a hard reboot. It ain't about that. Whatever you already have in your house, you can use just to play Stadia. It ain't about, you ain't even got to get a Chromecast Ultra. And that's just the wonders of Stadia. Now, again, as we talked about price, there's going to be two options here. You're either going to get this as an additional pro game, which would be fantastic and would be great for the Stadia platform. And I urge Stadia to put out that duffel to at least make it a pro game for 30 days. Or you're going to have to pay full retail for it. Or it could be three, a combination of both. It releases as full retail, eventually it's a pro game. Here's the thing though. I'm starting to believe that it might be the latter, or not the latter, but the second option, because in his conversation, Sven said, hey, no matter how you want to buy this game, you know what I'm saying, XYZ could occur, you know what I'm saying, and I think that you're gonna have to pay for it. But again, what we saw of that game, what you see here, let me go back to it. What the hell am I doing? Why am I not showing this game? What you see here in totality was so fantastic, it's worth every single penny that they're willing to have you pay for it, even in early access. In early access, this game looks better than most of the stuff that you see at full retail, you know what I'm saying, nowadays, right? So you can't beat that. And with that being said, finally, the release date, you guys may have seen it, was early 2020. September 30th, 2020. That is the new release date for the for Baldur's Gate. And again, if you think about it this way, especially if it's a pro game, if it's a pro game with your pro subscription, you're going to get exclusive to the platform Guild, Orcs Must Die, Serious Sam 4, and Baldur's Gate. And for $10 a month, to me, and I get to keep those games as long as I have the subscription. I ain't got to worry about them rolling in or rolling out. And to me, and that's on top of games like PUBG, Destiny, the Complete Edition, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's on top of all those that I get to keep as long as I have the subscription. You can't beat that. So that to me is the best value as far as my subscription dollars are concerned. But again, it still waits to be seen if it's going to become a pro game. But regardless, it was a great showcase today, a great showing, and one for the ages. And with that said, I'm excited for this game. I hope you are too, like everyone else. That's it from your boy MM2K. And yo, let me know what you think about what I had to say in the comment section below. Like I always say, who cares what I think? Let me know what you think. And if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. And with all that said, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.